Steffi seeks advice from Finn, Dylan, and will kiss, while Sheila brings up sex with Deacon with Taylor. Eric may get sued. Eric's decision to return to Forrester Creations after returning and retiring on his own, and then signing a contract to work at Logan makes him appear like a flighty teenager. This fantastic female empowerment plot for Katie is entirely around Rich and Eric, leaving Katie and Bill without a designer. Katie was short-sighted in not recognizing designer Deke's opportunity. Bill informed Katie that the senior Forrester signed a contract, thus his designs now belong to Logan. Ridge even wants to use the ones he saw at Eric's place. If he utilizes them, Katie will have a case against Eric and FC. Will that be the next story? Ivy's obsession. Some could describe Elektra as an easy victim. She's gentle, lovely, and generous, as well as the show's least worldly character. Unfortunately, ripe for manipulation. Ivy's commitment to her love life is understandable. She's her aunt. But she's been tricking her into abandoning Will for cousin RJ. But why? Ivy had previously been manipulative, but she appeared to have changed her ways. She's more like Allie today, fascinated with the proper principles of the Forresters. Is it simply because she does not want Elektra to be with Spencer because her love relationships with Liam and Wyatt failed? Please share your opinions on both storylines and what's coming up this week in the comments. I have a way to make you feel better, Dylan says in the promo. Oh yeah? Asks Will. They kiss. Dylan will kiss. It's not proper at all, Ivy informs Elektra. Ivy warns Elektra that it is not proper. It was fantastic. Over and over. Sheila tells Taylor about her sexual encounter with Deacon. Sheila Deacon sex. I tried to recommit myself to Sheila, but all I could think about was you, Deacon says Taylor. Deacon explains to Taylor. Deacon and Taylor kiss. Deacon Taylor's kiss. Bold and beautiful on Monday, March 2nd. Monday's Y&R recap. Steffi consults Finn for advice. Hope and Deke encourage Deacon. Taylor had an unsettling encounter with Sheila. Steffi and Finn discuss Taylor. Bold and beautiful on Tuesday, March 3rd. Tuesday's Y&R recap. Steffi and Hope dispute about their parents. Deacon fantasizes about Taylor while having sex with Sheila. Sheila Deacon sex. Bold and beautiful on Wednesday, March 4th. Dylan is drawn to Will, who has recently become single. Taylor and Deacon fight to stay apart. Sheila expresses gratitude to Taylor. Deke encourages Deacon to pursue his own happiness. Dylan reveals everything to Will. RJ reflects on his kiss with Elektra. Will surprises Steffi with shocking news. Steffi's fear comes true. Katie makes a tough decision, and Dylan kisses Will. The Bold and the Beautiful has revealed that fans will see some significant confrontations as well as some key decisions. So let's chat about all of the excitement that awaits on the CBS soap. Steffi Forrester Finnegan will seek advice from John Finn Finnegan during the week of March 2nd to 6th, as she continues to be concerned about Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp's situation. Taylor decided to put an end to any romantic pursuits, but Steffi may be concerned that it will not last if Deacon continues to show interest. After Hope Logan Spencer fails to persuade Deacon to reconcile with Taylor, she will argue with Steffi about whether their parents belong together. According to B&B spoilers, Hope will continue to root for Deacon and Taylor, but Steffi will maintain her stance that it is simply too hazardous due to Sheila Sharp. Sheila would attempt to seduce Deacon after meeting Taylor and sharing some uncomfortable moments with her. Although Deacon would become passionate with Sheila shortly after, he will fantasize about Taylor during their experience. Taylor will be caught aback later when Sheila appears to rave about Deacon's excellent performance in bed. Sheila will believe Taylor is a miracle worker in her relationship, but she will be unaware that Taylor is the one who has truly sparked Deacon's interest. Deke Sharp will offer Deacon another push in Taylor's direction, prompting Deacon to speak with her discreetly and admit that his attempt to recommit to Sheila was unsuccessful. Deacon can't stop thinking about Taylor, so he'll admit she's the actual reason he was so wild in bed with Sheila. Melissa Dillon's attraction to Will Spencer will become stronger in the beach house now that he is unmarried. Dylan will kiss Will, though she may initially dream it. Dylan, on the other hand, will eventually disclose some secrets to Will, and may admit she is developing emotions for him beyond friendship. Will is crushed over Elektra Forrester, but will he fall for Dylan's offer of comfort? While RJ Forrester recalls his own lip lock with Elektra, Ivy Forrester encourages her niece to put Will in the rearview mirror and focus on RJ instead. When Will returns to Steffy, he will eventually reveal some terrible information. If Steffy is not involved, Will and Elektra may split up, but he may also leave Forrester Creations since being around Elektra is too traumatic. The week of March 9th to 13th should leave Daphne Rose tempted to reveal Ivy's stolen letter drama and everything she's planned. Can Ivy keep Daphne quiet, and how long? This may distract Daphne from her baby-making objective with Carter Walton, but it may not matter in the end because some fertility issues are likely to arise. After his time in bed with Sheila, Deacon and Taylor may allow themselves to indulge in some of their own passions. Will Taylor and Deacon finally hit the sheets? Regardless, the more Taylor and Deacon skulk around, the more probable it is that Sheila will catch them and completely lose control. Meanwhile, Bill Spencer may start a conflict over Eric Forrester's, John McCook, design since he wants to keep Eric's work for Logan. Of course, Katie Logan Spencer is already battling with this, since she does not want to exacerbate her anger toward Brooke Logan Forrester. Will Katie abandon her dream of owning a fashion firm in order to mend her relationship with Brooke? According to the bold and the beautiful spoilers, the following 2 weeks will be filled with hot confrontations and important decisions. Steffy asks Finn for advice. Standing by herself in her office, Steffy Forrester gazed at the skyline of the city, while her mind was clouded by uncertainty. Every decision she made as CEO of Forrester Creations had a significant impact on her family, as well as the business. Those decisions felt more burdensome lately. Her cell rang. Finn. He texted. Come home. You don't have to bear everything by yourself. Finn was waiting as composed as ever, when Steffy entered their living room. Her face was marked with stress and he could see it. You're spiraling, he said softly. Talk to me. She let out a breath. Eric. Rich. Logan Designs, Katie. Everything is blowing up. I feel obligated to clean up mess that I didn't cause. Finn grasped her hands. Your grandfather made his decisions. Rich did too. You don't have to rule everyone. However, I am in charge of safeguarding this business, Steffy answered. Forrester Creations might be involved in a lawsuit against Eric. Bill claims that Logan owns the designs, but Ridge is prepared to use Eric's. Ridge's actions could legally destroy us. Finn gave her a close look. Then perhaps it's time to set limits. Whether he realizes it or not, your grandfather's return in this manner is hurting you. Steffy took a deep breath. He established this empire. I never imagined that I would be facing him in court. Drawing boundaries with family can sometimes be the most difficult, Finn murmured. But that doesn't mean they're incorrect. His words gave her a sense of stability. Steffy felt clarity instead of fear for the first time in the day. Eric's risky choice. In the Logan Designs office across town, Eric sat with his sketchpad open and his eyes blazing with resolve. It had been years since he had felt so alive. He felt the rush of creativity, but underneath it was something more sinister. Resentment. After building Forrester Creations for decades, he felt ignored by Ridge and Steffy. He had reclaimed his purpose by signing with Logan Designs. Katie Logan came in silently. Bill says Ridge wants to use your sketches, Eric. Eric sneered. He does, of course. He has always adored my designs. Katie insisted. But he can't. You agreed to a contract. Logan Designs now has legal ownership of those designs. You and Forrester might be sued if Ridge makes use of them. Eric tensed. I never meant to cause harm to my family, Katie retorted. Intent doesn't change legal reality. And really? You have placed us all in a very bad situation. Her words had a greater impact than she had anticipated. At last Eric appeared unsure. He declared, I wanted freedom, not at war. Strategic blunder or empowerment for Katie. As a bold statement that she could succeed without Bill, Ridge, or the Forrester family, Katie had founded Logan Designs as a symbol of her independence. However, she was now torn between being empowered and being careless. Talented designer Deacon had been waiting to join her business. Unaware of the emotional and legal turmoil it would cause, she had instead pursued Eric's legendary name. Bill Spencer was quick to express his worries. He stated bluntly, you made a short-sighted call. The safe choice was Deacon. Eric is erratic. Katie became agitated. I had faith in his expertise. Bill yelled. And now that experience might bankrupt us. Ridge is enraged. Steffy is in a panic. We will also file a lawsuit if they utilize Eric's designs. Katie gazed at him. You would actually bring a lawsuit against the Forresters? I would safeguard my investment, Bill answered. Regardless of who gets in the way. Dylan and Will. A turning point. Meanwhile, tension between Will and Dylan simmered in the creative studio. They had become dangerously close because of their shared ambition, creative vulnerability, and late nights. After a lengthy design session one evening, they stopped laughing and fell silent. Have you ever had the feeling that something life-altering is about to happen? Silently, Dylan inquired. Will looked him in the eye. Every time I gaze upon you. Before either could stop it, the kiss took place. It was inevitable, not rash. Both of them realized their lives had changed when they eventually pulled apart, gasping for air. Will muttered, "This complicates things." Dylan answered, "Everything worth having does." Soon their secret would spread, becoming entangled in the escalating corporate storm. Deacon, Sheila, and a risky confession. Sheila Carter leaned across the table at Il Giardino, her eyes sparkling mischievously as she spoke to Taylor Hayes. Sheila remarked nonchalantly, "Deacon and I have never been closer. Physically, emotionally." Taylor became motionless. "Why are you telling me this?" Sheila grinned and said, "Because honesty is refreshing. And because I am aware that you are concerned about him." Taylor found it difficult to hide her worry. "People are afraid of you because of your past," Sheila said. Sheila insisted, "I'm not the villain I used to be." Deacon notices that. Sheila omitted to mention how much power she now had over Deacon, and how she intended to use it. Titans collide in Ridge versus Bill. Ridge confronted Bill at Forrester Creations. Ridge yelled, "You're endangering my family." Bill retorted, "I'm defending Katie's business. A contract was signed by your father. If you go too far, I'll file a lawsuit." Ridge leaned closer. "You wouldn't risk it." Bill's eyes became stony. "Give me a try." Their conflict went beyond business. It was a struggle of egos, loyalty, and legacy on a personal level. Steffy acquires power. Steffy gathered both families in one explosive room and called an emergency meeting. "This is over," she said. "Eric, you should make it clear who owns each design you made. You need legal permission before you can touch them, Ridge. Stop using lawsuits as leverage, Bill." The room was silent. "Everything our family's built is being destroyed," Steffy added. "There won't be anything left to fight over if we don't take a step back." Her remarks struck a chord. Bill paused as well. The reckoning of Eric. Later that evening, Eric sat by himself with sketches all around him. At last, he understood that his return was motivated by pride rather than creativity. He gave Katie a call the following morning. He declared, "I want to renegotiate. For the benefit of all." Katie let out a sigh of relief. "It's the first smart move you've made in weeks." Power, love, and the cost of ambition. Emotional storms simmered beneath the surface as tensions subsided. Will and Dylan found it difficult to deal with their newfound closeness. Sheila held Deacon closer. Katie struggled with the price of independence, while Steffi had to deal with the demands of leadership. Beauty and treachery have always coexisted in Los Angeles. And as usual, the most perilous force of all would be love. The start of Eric's legal nightmare. Eric Forrester didn't get much sleep. He could see decades of his life falling apart every time he closed his eyes. His children, his company, his legacy, and now his reputation. A legal ticking bomb had replaced what had seemed like a courageous declaration of independence. The situation had gotten worse by morning. The legal team for Bill Spencer had already started drafting documents detailing intellectual property claims and breach of contract violations. Logan Designs would have the right to sue both Eric and Forrester Creations if Ridge attempted to use even one sketch from Eric's most recent portfolio. The enormity of her choice haunted Katie as she stood in her office and gazed out at the city. She had desired to be empowered. She had desired autonomy. She was now, however, the mastermind behind a corporate conflict. Eric's phone rang. "Katie." I aired. More than any threat could have, those words shook her. "I never intended to cause harm to my family," he added. "However, I was upset. I felt abandoned. Swapped out. Katie became softer. You are not substituted. But the decisions you make are important. They are currently endangering all of us. Eric promised. I'll fix it. No matter what it takes. A daughter takes charge in Steffi versus Ridge. Steffi encountered her most agonizing obstacle to date, her own father, at Forrester Creations. Ridge stood in front of her, his jaw clenched, his calm exterior belying a burning rage. He insisted. Are you now supporting Bill Spencer? I'm on the side of reason, Steffi answered. You are not permitted to use Eric's designs. They belong to my father. Ridge yelled. This is where they belong. No. Logan Designs owns them, she retorted. And you expose this business to lawsuits that could destroy us if you touch them. Ridge balled his fists. So what? Shall we simply roll over? We innovate, Steffi stated resolutely. We produce something fresh. We proceed without causing our family to fall apart. He was astounded by her authority. Ridge became aware for the first time that his daughter had taken full charge of Forrester Creations. She was also not going to back down. Will and Dylan. Fear and passion. Everything was altered by the kiss. Despite Will's and Dylan's best efforts, normalcy had vanished. Every look had significance. Electricity ignited at every touch. The tension finally subsided one late evening, while the design studio was empty. Will muttered, "This is reckless." As Dylan drew him in, Dylan retorted, "So is denying what we feel." Their second kiss was slower, more intense, and more vulnerable in longing. It was terrifying for Will. His world had always been meticulously planned. Anticipations, reputation, legacy within the family. But all the rules were broken with Dylan. Will acknowledged, "I don't know where this leads." Dylan softly cupped his face. "Then let's find it together." Neither of them anticipated how swiftly their secret would be revealed, or the terrible consequences that would follow. Sheila's psychological game. Sheila Carter never acted aimlessly. She spoke to Taylor in a strategic manner. Sheila wanted to reposition herself as a misunderstood woman looking for love, rather than as a monster, by subtly introducing concepts of intimacy, vulnerability, and transformation. On the inside, however, she was using surgical precision to control Deacon. "Taylor is concerned about you," she whispered to him that evening. "She believes I'm playing tricks on you." Deacon let out a sigh. "You don't have her trust." Sheila gave me a charming smile. "Do you?" He paused. She leaned in. "Because I do everything for us." Their passion that evening obscured his doubts. However, Sheila was aware of something Deacon was not. Taylor would continue to research her. And Sheila would do whatever it took to destroy any danger to her new life. Katie's confidence crisis. Katie anticipated confidence as Logan Designs expanded. Rather, she was afraid. Uncertain about Eric's whereabouts, the lawsuit rumors, and the tense conflict between the Spencers and Forresters, she observed staff members chatting among themselves. The name of designer Deke resounded in her head, the sensible, safe option she had disregarded. She now questioned whether her ambition had affected her judgment. Bill saw that she was nervous. "This can still be fixed," he said softly. "How?" she muttered. "Let Eric design, but with strict legal oversight. Joint ownership. Mutual defense." Katie thought about it. Perhaps being empowered didn't mean being by yourself. Perhaps it meant making a smart decision.